kind of react a little bit to these lings that are going to be coming out soon, because there should be a lot of lings that are going to be coming in the near future.
It could be. However, Zerglings, what I think we're going to see here is a couple of the speedlings maybe come and kill these rocks at some point. But you don't have to use this as a super aggressive strategy. You just force your opponent to be a little scared, force them to go for this nice quicker forge that he may have, not actually gone for. He did open with a gateway into Cybercore. Now he has this forge, and he's like, I need a cannon.
Yeah.
These aren't things that puCK was necessarily going to be doing. So we'll have to see. This one pylon looks like it's going to go down pretty handedly.
Yeah, and when it does, it's not really going to do too much. Of course, there's another pylon there, so that cannon will not get depowered, but speed is already done. And like you were saying, Kibbles, he doesn't have to be super aggressive with this. It's to kind of force out more minerals out of puCK, as he's already made the cannon and an extra pylon. But hendralisk taking 2 bases behind this and is droning out. So as
you weigh this. Like,
really
you
nice.
got 100 gas for speed, 50 for the drone. Okay, so he put basically like 200, 250 minerals.
Yep.
Into these lings with speed. Did he pay for it? I mean, he's got 100. He forced a forge that puCK may have not wanted to go for.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like
2 zealots.
You're gonna get speed pretty early in this matchup anyway, especially when your opponent goes for the Nexus first into Gateway. puCK tried to make, he wanted to play the greediest game that he possibly could and skip the forge. Maybe get it for a later push, but he's going to kind of work it into his build now, as hendralisk has forced it out. So,
and that's one of the things that I'm a little afraid of here, is like, I wonder if hendralisk, they have a relationship. They've played on a regular basis against each other, and now, puCK has made some comments about how this is not his favorite player to play against.
Yeah.
Is hendralisk setting the tone of this match real early? He's like, hey, puCK, you're here, and you're going to do what I make you do. I wonder if that's the kind of attitude that he's bringing with this very, I confront aggression, but I'm not going to bring it.
Yeah, hey, that could very well be the case.
He's fronting, man.
He's fronting. Why you gotta be? Well, I was thinking Michael Jackson, then I decided that I was going to I don't even know. There's another song, that Pharrell song. Bam, way back in the day.
I don't know it.
It's like, I can't even remember how it goes, but he definitely speaks in a very high-pitched voice, and that's what Pharrell does.
All right, well, Evo Chamber
is
wrapped up now for hendralisk, and once again, so he goes for the missile attack upgrades. I wonder if this is... A lot of times in my head, I think of Swarm Host when I see this, but more and more I'm seeing players still just go for, like, quick Roach Hydra with these missile attacks.
Well, I think here it's going to be... probably Roach Ling for now. Actually, I don't even know if there's a Roach Warren down. I think he wanted to go for Ling Hydra here, but he's going to have to be a little bit careful because puCK is setting up a very aggressive 2-base Blink attack at the moment as he added all those gateways down, and Blink is getting Chrono Boost. So this is a really nice composition.
There could not be a harder build order counter to what puCK is going for. Now, that doesn't stop the attack dead in the water. If the units do not engage right, that's one of the most important things to Zerg. Protoss, your units naturally have about the same move speed, so they stick together pretty well. Zerg, your lings are way faster, so if hendralisk does have a bad engagement and sends his lings in to die to these Blink Stalkers, and then only has Hydras, he definitely could lose this fight, of any kind of fight, if it doesn't go his way. Right now, he's making 10-10. puCK needs to push the issue. He needs to kill this Spine Crawler. He needs to push this Queen back to this base. He has a lot of things he can do for free right now. Is he going to do it? The Phoenix goes down. This is so clutch. puCK needs to see that there's nothing here.
Not yet. He has no idea what exactly is coming yet. He sees the Lings coming down, so this could be anything Roach Ling, but seeing that there are no Roaches here...
Can he force field the ramp and stop the Hydras from coming in the main and natural? Force field's going down. Not a nice concave force field, but he could have done better.
Yes, indeed. But puCK is getting some damage done. These are +1 right now. hendralisk's +1 is not finished yet, and he feels like it is a little too much for him to handle. And puCK is going to fall on back there. He just feels like, Hydras and Lings are a little bit too much for my...
That shouldn't have happened. That should not have happened at all. That attack from puCK could have done catastrophic damage if he had force fielded that ramp and stopped the Hydras and Lings from coming down from the main and natural. That would have isolated this third. The units were too late from hendralisk. That Phoenix should have been faster. puCK should have known that those units weren't there, moved in, killed that third, and maybe steamrolled to win the game, but that third was his, and that was a big, big blunder from puCK that's going to set him incredibly behind.
Indeed, and he's going to try to react to it by getting the Robo out. He wants to try to get to Colossus Tech, but hendralisk, what is his options here, right? He pretty much has the game in his palm for a certain extent by seeing that third go down. So he can be the one that is, let's say, wearing the pants in this matchup at the moment, because he is going to be rallying massive amounts of units here. Hydralisk and the Lings are going to be moving in, and here he goes. A fight that puCK moved out of is now forced to actually engage right now. Sentries are in the front. Very careful
puCK
here.
Wasn't watching at the start of that fight either, so all the Lings got in and got on top of his units before the force fields went down. And now the reinforcements, I'm pretty concerned the robotics bay is not even halfway done.
No, it is not at all, and there are more Hydras coming down. This is a timing that usually will punish a Stargate opening player as they are transitioning into the Robo, but this is even worse. This is Gateway units here, and yeah, they're Blink Stalkers with +1. They don't have that crucial +2 upgrade yet, and by the time it finishes, there's not even going to be enough Stalkers to utilize it. puCK might lose the game right here, and GG's.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
To this map, King Sejong Station in the ASL Prime. Semifinals between this player spawning in the bottom right corner. He is up 1 game, representing Complexity Sound Blaster. He is the Teal Zerg player. hendralisk.
Positively stellar performance back in game number 1. And just in even though he didn't read the build correctly, I would say, from puCK, he played it a little bit too much, safe all, catch all situation. And he should have lost that third and probably lost the game. Once puCK made a mistake, hendralisk identified it, capitalized on it, and then pounced. Caught his opponent before any transition was possible, before that fast third was going to manage to pay off. Is hendralisk going to try to take another early lead? We'll have to see. Against this guy in the top left-hand corner of the map from IVD Gaming, the red Protoss player, currently down 0-1, even though I gotta say, that game might have been his. Where is his mentality at? We're about to find out. It's...
puCK!
And really, after that game, man, he's just gotta be asking himself, what the...
This is another interesting move here.
/ASL.
I think hendralisk, not quite the same way he did it last game, but he's looking pretty standard, as well as he did scout with his Overlord and recognizes that it is a gateway. But I believe, I don't know how long it was until he took that gas, whatever, but he took the gas quite early, but you get it quite early against the gateway expand. Maybe he just kind of figures out that puCK is going to go ahead and go for that gateway. So he's going to get his speed, playing it safe. Already pulling out of gas, though, not even mining with 1, in case there's some kind of potential 4-gate to follow it up. He's just going to go ahead and drone up and hope for that it's not going to be that case.
Yeah, and this kind of forces the Forge out of puCK. A lot of players would love to go for, fast Stargate play against Zerg, or even skip straight to Robo and get started on those Immortals. In this kind of a situation, you have to go for this quicker Forge, or you can go for, like you're talking about, with the 4-gate, but that's just not going to work too well versus the fast speed. I like this a lot from hendralisk. This opening is just a lot of fun because you get a lot of information this way. You get a lot of guarantees. You force your opponent to maybe make decisions they weren't interested in making. It's just really important to make sure you get those Overlords in to see what tech they're going to opt for, since you kind of take the map.
Yeah, for sure.
Comes at a cost.
So he does have an Overlord in position, and is able to scout the gas with that other Overlord by the natural. And hendralisk is going to go ahead and take a relatively on-time third as well. Just playing it pretty standard here. Going to make a few Lings to get that map control. Has not confirmed the wall, though, of puCK, so he doesn't know if there's an additional gateway. He doesn't know if it's a Stargate. He's pretty much just playing it pretty much just in the dark at the moment. He will send over that Overlord now around the 6:30-minute mark, in order to find out exactly what could be going on. So he's going to also scout the front here with these Lings. And just feeling the pressure just a little bit. Adding another gateway. But,
that was a bit of a decision out of hendralisk from my perspective. I mean, He committed a lot of lings, lost a lot of lings, lost a lot of ability to go out and snipe proxy pylons with confidence. I'm not sure about the number of lings that were made in the opening here. It really didn't amount to anything, and that third was really...
Yeah, it didn't really end up doing anything there. But, oh no, well, looks like my homie has been silenced, but it is okay. I shall carry the torch on, as we do see puCK going on to potentially take another third. He might take another base right here, as he does have +1 on the way. 10 drones coming out here from hendralisk, though, however, as well as his lair. And I still don't believe he's confirmed any real tech here from puCK. He does see that the gas has been taken, both gases rather, so I don't know what his actual response is going to be. A little bit different from last time, though, as we do see that there is a Roach Warren coming down, as well as an Evo Chamber, so he will get that ranged upgrade, and we may see more of a Roach Ling style that may transition into Roach Hydra, or perhaps it is only here to pressure that third. A Twilight Council coming out here from puCK, though, inside of his main. And what is puCK going to be thinking here? Is he going to go for a really crazy kind of 3-base with the heavy on the Blink Stalkers? Or is that Twilight Council mainly for upgrades and see him add a different kind of tech? Regardless of anything that's going on, hendralisk is just pretty content to go ahead and just drone into his heart's content, as we do see that third hit has been confirmed also by hendralisk. Hydralisk Den is going to be going down here for hendralisk, though. Kind of like a tongue twister right there, but I think he is going to be going into that Roach Hydra. And the fact that he hasn't taken a fourth just yet may kind of give us that idea that he's going to just go into very heavy into the units, as he does try to put some pressure onto the third of puCK. But we should see a fourth come pretty soon, as you don't want to be on the fourth basis for too long, on the 3 bases for too damn long. So, ooh, Infestation Pit coming down here for hendralisk. And it is going to get scouted by this imaginary unit that does fly around and let people know what's going on if you're a Protoss unit. And he will go ahead and figure that out. See the Infestation Pit. Doesn't know that it is for Hive or if it is for Swarm Host. We know that hendralisk loves using a Swarm Host, especially on a map like King Sejong. Not a bad map at all to get that Swarm Host action. And a Blink will be coming down here for puCK.
Tempo, I haven't seen this build in since Wings of Liberty, 2012. I cannot believe.
What is it?
No, I'm back. Happy to be back, man.
I was like, oh my god, am I missing something?
So what was
back,
that,
man? Welcome back.
What was I missing while I was reconfiguring my Skype for hitting me?
Nothing too much here. Looking pretty standard for hendralisk, getting the Roaches, the Hydras. Upgrades for the range, and then the Infestation Pit. So no Hive just yet. And puCK is getting Blink and Robo, and also a Robo Bay. So kind of standard from both sides as far as composition goes. Not one of them. I don't see Swarm Host just yet, and I don't see puCK doing a 3-base Blink all in just yet either. So
puCK. No, your Zealot.
Did you not see?
Your Zealot isn't. Oh, his Zealot was blocking his sentries, but Roaches do test their way up the map like any good Zerg player would do, and that does buy puCK the time he needs. But an attack will come in from the right-hand side. Sentries and Stalkers in position to deal with this, however, as well.
Splitting his army very nicely here, too. Oh, the force fields.
I love him.
Getting so many of those Roaches, and now the Hydras and Roaches are going to try to go up this other side, but with the Photon Overcharge and these Stalkers that do have Blink, he might be able to hold. He just needs to kind of hold the line until the rest of his units can actually come back. But oh my god, that's a lot of units coming here from hendralisk.
Where's the Robotech from puCK? He has no Colossi, he has no Immortals. One Colossus about to get on the field. Will it be puCK's salvation? It absolutely could be. This is such a heavy play from hendralisks with so many Roaches and so many hydralisks, but not able to crack into the economy of puCK. puCK holds without taking any substantial damage besides a couple of sentries.
Yeah, the sentries, so that may be kind of big, especially when the Roaches and the Hydras come together, but looks like he's just going to continue to pressure. Really nice force fields again, but he keeps on baiting out these force fields, and what is he going to do after the fact? He's going to continue to go ahead and attack this third, but, hendralisk is actually losing a lot of units right here and not getting too much done yet. Oh my god, though, the Colossus is exposed. It's still not, this is really not that much damage being done here.
I feel like puCK is holding this attack and that's all he has to do right now. There is a Spire, there is a Hive now on the way, so the clock is ticking, but notice how quick the Templar tech is from puCK. His upgrades, he's already started +3, +2 is 3/4 of the way done right now for our Zerg.
Yeah.
I like puCK's position as long as he can manage to secure a 4th base, hold this back door. That's what I see as puCK's vulnerability right now.
Indeed, and he's going to go ahead and fortify it with some gateways, but puCK is holding on, like he was saying. +3 is on the way, extended thermal lance, as well as that Templar tech. Going to be all going in, and yes, if he does get that 4th base with the big attack, perhaps, that'll be the kind of time where we see exactly how hendralisk is going to be able to go into the late game with puCK, because puCK is actually getting into the late game in a very comfortable way, I would say. These 10 mutas, though, may take his comfort level down just a little bit, because he doesn't have any Stargate tech at all. He does have the blink, but, I mean, it gets really annoying to deal with mutas when you don't have that capability to make phoenixes.
Notably, puCK didn't see the Spire, actually. He came in,
he scouted,
he saw the Hive with the Phoenix. And hendralisk let it in there. He had only 1 Hydra guarding the front instead of 2. 1 Hydra's not going to kill a Phoenix in a flyby, but Phoenix still didn't manage to get the Spire, and that's going to mean that these 13 Mutalisks that just are popping out for hendralisk right now are going to be quite a surprise for our IVD Protoss.
They're going to be such a surprise right now, and puCK has pretty split with his units, so he should be able to deal with this first initial wave of mutas, but it depends how much more commitment hendralisk will have to them. He's setting up very defensively, secures his 4th, trying to get his 5th as well, and getting a ton of spine crawlers. But that little roach squad is not going to do too much, maybe getting puCK's army out of position.
It is.
Mutas.
But hendralisk, exactly. He's not moving in. He's finally going to move into attack. He will come in from the right-hand side now, and this is a cute maneuver because there are no sentries. There's only a mothership core and some blink stalkers, but they're going to have to blink up into the main in order to deal with these mutas.
Yes, and the +3 on these stalkers are going to be so important before these mutas get to a unmanageable count. Really needs to make sure that he's not allowed to mass up those mutas. So it looks like puCK is going to actually take the fight over to hendralisk. And is this actually going to be able to deal with the force if hendralisk converges all of his units on top of it?
I think that puCK maybe wants to push the issue here. There's not much of a reason not to. Your opponent has only roaches and mutalisks. They cannot engage full-on with an army like this. Force fields go down. They do isolate a good number of the roaches towards the back, but not quite all of them. But here are the blink stalker reinforcements that puCK needs. And there's no way for hendralisk to deal with a force like that.
Wow. And hendralisk... Ladies and...
right.
Yeah.
What? Guys, welcome to the game. What's up? We've got game number 3, Tempo.
We do. I realized I pointed at you and then actually talked after because I couldn't see your reaction.
I had my horseradish article up.
Oh. Well, game number 3 it is, indeed, in a best-of-7 series. And would you do us the honor of introducing our first player?
Absolutely, in the top right-hand corner of the map. From IVD Gaming, the blue Protoss, who last game showed complete and utter poise under pressure. He pressured exactly when was perfect. And now, we'll see if he can complete this match with a victory. Give it up. I ran out of peas, Tempo.
I know, that's always the thing. If only he was a pink or purple colored in game, right?
That's what he's not pink. He's not purple. But if you put both those peas on top of each other and then stacked one upside down, it would make a B for blue.
Oh.
No.
I like.
No, there's no reason.
No? Well,
Who's
I can dig it, man. He's against this player representing Canada as well as Complexity Sound Blaster. He is a different shade of blue himself. hendralisk. Oh yeah.
That didn't rhyme with hendralisk. I'm disappointed.
It's kind of hard to rhyme hendralisk, right? You got to be like...
Hydralisk.
Yeah, but those are like cheating rhymes. That's like saying, I don't know, Knight rhymes with night, like the K version and the
No, those are homin. Oh, I got you, because they
right?
all end in lisk.
Yeah.
That's the only way to make things rhyme, Tempo. You can't rhyme bat with orange. You rhyme bat with cat, because they both end in at.
An at, yeah. But that's
All
like
right,
saying
man.
cat rhymes with rock at, like the
Ah, that was a good one.
yeah.
Snap! You even threw a sponsor in there.
You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately,
Tempo.
neither of these two players sponsors, but
Can you be like you should be like a freestyle rapper,
yeah.
but you do marketing videos, and that's your thing,
Ooh.
right? You'll just like go to a place and start freestyle rapping about a brand that approaches you at any event.
Ooh, you know what? I feel like that's something that it's very unique, right? So not
Well, that
people
would
would
be
be
fun.
like, damn.
I'd be so
Exactly.
curious to hear what rhymes you could come up off of Intel's processors. All right, we're in the game, guys. It is merry-go-round, and our players have opened pretty similarly to how they have so far. The biggest difference being in puck, he opted to forego a forge this time in lieu of faster 3 gateway, which I think he's going to use for a little bit of pressure.
I think so too. I didn't see where his chrono boost was being spent here, but yeah, 3 gates can do quite a bit of pressure. He is chrono boosting probes out and a really, really fast Twilight again. So, wow, will hendralisk be able to read this? Will he be able to scout and kind of make the right decision here? Because he took a really early third here, and looks like he is setting up to get that lair perhaps with the second gas.
I love this play from puck. Puck, his probe gets seen on the left-hand side of the map by this Overlord. He then turns around, warps in a pylon. He's going to warp in a couple of Zealots here, and they are going to be stopped. But this is not the important attack. The big attack is going to be not Zealots, not Stalkers. He's thrown down a Dark Shrine, and is this going to be something that hendralisk can be prepared for?
Yeah, that's actually really cool here. Although there's, oh my god. Okay, never mind. I really just thought that some reason it got scouted, but it didn't. And like you're saying, hendralisk is thinking in his head right now that this is going to be, the typical 4-gate style of aggression. But
those Zerglings just surrounded a Zealot and started, gnawing away at it, and they were like, actually, this tastes
I'm allergic.
like crap.
Yeah, that side blade is not
Tastes all like metal. I want nothing to do with this. More Zealots
it's
on
like
the
when
way
you
right
get
now.
McDonald's, right? And they look so good in the magazine or on TV, and like you go and get it in real life, and it's definitely not. It doesn't look anything like.
Hilarious that you would say that. I went to the movies the other night, and at the cash register, I went to go buy snacks. I ended up buying Sour Patch Kids, but the first thing I asked him was, they have they had nachos with little jalapenos and little cheese, and I said, I want those nachos. And he goes, and as he's going to get them, I'm like, can I get them to look exactly like that?
Yeah.
And it was like, if they don't look delicate, I'm actually not interested in them. And it was like this nasty bag of nachos that they were just gonna like pour out. So I got Sour
It's a
Patch
nasty
Kids.
bag.
They look like
and those look just like they do on the
Right.
cover art of Legacy of the Void,
they even
baby.
tell you enlarged for texture. Zealots coming in, but they are gonna be swiftly dealt with. From hendralisk here.
Are they going to get dealt with is the question. They're not doing as much damage as I'd expected. They have gotten 5 kills, at least 1 in the natural. But I feel like you want to do a little bit more damage here, especially because those Zealots didn't end up doing anything at the third. But is it enough, Kibbles? I mean, there's a Blink follow-up, but there's no +1 here, I don't believe. So it's not even going to be like the really follow-up with the +2. With the Blink, like +1 Zealots and then +2 Blink.
Yeah, like 13 workers into a Blink Archon attack with did you say +2?
I was hoping, but there's no upgrades at all here for puck.
Yeah,
at all.
okay. So that's why this attack is going to hit when it does, because going for 3 gateway pressure with fast Dark Templar shouldn't allow you to follow up with a +2 attack this quickly. We're only at 10.5 minute mark, which is about when a normal +2 Blink Stalker all-in is going to hit. It's hit, 30 seconds ago now. Ling slips its way into the main, though, and that's going to give him some information. He's going to see the utter lack of a Robo.
Oh, Dark Templar gets right by it. And yeah, the lack of tech is what he really needs to know. That the fact that there's no Robo here, so he says, hopefully, will kind of realize that it is going to be a Templar kind of based army, very heavy on the Archons, and hey, that may prompt hendralisk to go ahead and feel like he can get away with more Hydras perhaps, and Roach Hydra doesn't need to rush into the hive just yet.
Oh, this changeling is getting so owned right now. He stopped wiggling. There was a changeling that was having a hard time over here in the bottom right. But something I do want to point out is I love that we've got Burrow and Creep dropping on this base in the top left. I think we're going to see Zergling's Burrow there in just a moment as well.
And there's no detection here from puCK. puCK has no capabilities of making detection, except for that robo that is on the way. And boom! Surprise, mother trucker! Immediate recall as hendralisk. Setting up the trap. And this means that there's well, I guess there will be enough for a full-ton overcharge. But the third is up here, so luckily for puCK, that wasn't just like a two base attack, and hoping that he just won the game there somehow. So puCK's plan is that he has a lot more up his sleeve.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at the supply kills. I don't know, man. This is gonna be pretty rough.
It is a big supply differential, but these are all roaches. That's gonna make it, not as terribly lopsided as it currently appears to be. Stalkers doing bonus damage, of course, to those roaches, and there's a lot of Stalkers, not a lot of Zealots in this composition. Archons are going to be incredibly strong, but one of the Archons who is in danger of being picked off, but it's not going to. It's going to survive. Nice burrow movement there from hendralisk. He's doing a great job keeping his units alive for the moment, but the Archons do allow puCK to immediately break down those force fields so he can give pursuit whenever hendralisk starts to pull back.
Yeah, and hendralisk doesn't have that overwhelming roach number that allows you to kind of just dive in here and get as much as you want to get done. But he's going to try to make it happen anyway. The upgrades are favoring hendralisk, but ever so slightly. He only has +1 here, and he has to get something done with these roaches, and he's going to try to do it.
puCK out of position with his army. That's going to allow the Nexus to easily be sniped by these speed roaches with burrow move. And hendralisk taking a massive lead as 9 roaches make their way. Nay, we've got 11 roaches in the main. Robo pylon goes down. This is looking mighty good for hendralisk tempo.
Yeah, the real thing that this is making, the real great thing behind this for hendralisk is that he's going swarm host, right? So it's going to kind of allow hendralisk to be very aggressive with his roaches while he just builds up this counter swarm host. And puCK, he doesn't have any robotics bay. He's only finished his robotics facility. Only thing that has been made out of it are observers, and then maybe this one immortal that got stopped. So puCK is not going to have the splash damage that he needs. He doesn't have the upgrades that he needs to deal with this late game composition. Third gets canceled again. hendralisk with that burrow micro, man.
Right, the force fields, they cut off the units, but then hendralisk just burrows them, retreats them. I don't see puCK being able to give sentries on the left-hand side. Very important
not where they want to be.
They're gone.
And right now, hendralisk building up this swarm host count. It is up to 10 already. puCK has lost a massive amount of probes. He's lost 23. hendralisk killing a lot of probes. I mean, the only probes that have been, the only drones that have been killed by puCK are the ones that he killed with that first attack.
Yeah, and losing those sentries, he lost half of it. He lost 3. That's half his sentry count. So important because swarm hosts are out on the map right now, and puCK is a far shot away from Colossi. So he's going to need a lot of sentry energy to keep throwing down force fields, keep these locusts away, and secure this third base. But he lost half of them, and they were all full energy. He's not going to be able to hold these swarm hosts off for long enough until he can get the Colossi, I fear, since he has so few sentries left.
He doesn't even know that hendralisk is going for this at all. So that's a little bit of a mistake, as he has the robo, but he doesn't have a robo bay, and these swarm hosts are going to be very annoying, and puCK may feel like he's on the clock here as he does keep on moving with this army. Are there any spore crawlers here? There's really no way for hendralisk to kill the observer of puCK very efficiently, so...
Now I love this kind of an engagement, because so far hendralisk's strategy has been be aggressive and then fall back with your roaches, using your burrow micro as your crutch. In this kind of a situation, where do you fall back to? Your natural? Okay, well then he'll kill that. Now where do you fall back to? Your main, he'll kill that. Will the sentries manage to save this Archon? That's not healthy.
No, the sentry's trying to take one for the team, but... Really nice here move from puCK, though. He's actually down in upgrades. This is 0-0 Protoss against a 2-0 Zerg, so Yeah, the Roach numbers are not that overwhelming, but they're allowed to actually continue to trade very efficiently.
The Immortals making a huge difference in that fight. And notice that right now, hendralisk is only on 2 bases with his main mining out. He's not in the best of positions if puCK can get up Colossi.
Yeah, another Robo getting added here for hendralisk. I mean, for puCK, rather. But hendralisk, both of them taking bases on kind of goofy parts of the map, as they don't want to be too predictable with where they're getting their expansions.
Oh! But
So,
puCK
whoa,
drones transferring. He's not going to chase him down that hard, but that was a nice play. The Swarm Host, in the meantime, killed off the 3rd on the right, but like you were talking about, there's a Nexus almost complete over here at this remote base.
Oh, and this base is going to get caught by hendralisk. So hendralisk says, hey, go ahead. You're on that side of the map. Is there a Mothership core here? Yeah, there is. So we're going to see if this force of hendralisk, which doesn't have an Overseer with it just yet. So DTs can do a little bit, but damn, these DTs are just like bathed in butter right now.
puCK, he missed half his Stalkers, but he notices, he blinks them away and saves them from the Locust. That was extremely scary, as puCK did, it seems, accidentally leave behind a small group of units, but they may be able to go.
That was actually
now.
Yeah. Well, this is a really weird situation here. We, of course, have hendralisk who cannot secure another base because puCK keeps on taking them out. But we see a Protoss that can't actually break. Whoa, he can't break his Zerg opponent because the Swarm Hosts are a little bit too much to deal with without the Colossus count. So
nice sniping of the Overseer will remove the high ground. It looks like the Stalkers are going to manage to get away from these Roaches. Meanwhile, puCK's army positioning on the left-hand side. The Swarm Hosts also giving chase with some of these Locusts. But yeah, man, hendralisk is mined out in his main, and he's only mining on 1. 2 bases on the way, but puCK's already got one up and working in the top left.
And he got the probes over there safely. There was a little bit of an escort force there with the army of puCK, but luckily they did not get caught. Even if you see that getting transferred, you know, for later, you say, all right, I'm going to go kill that base. As it is right now, though, hendralisk doesn't know, and puCK, you know, is going to be able to mine there, which is very, very nice. He thinks that, well, hendralisk thinks that puCK is maybe on 2 bases and is on his last legs, but if that base continues to start mining here for puCK, and it's going to only get better over time, the longer it takes hendralisk to realize that puCK is not only on 2 base.
Absolutely, Tempo. Now, these Colossi need to go home for puCK. How puCK loses this, because the Roaches are going to find this base right now. They're going to be forced to. Yeah, completely the right decision from puCK. He sends those units home, and now he's going to be able to defend against this Roach, likely Swarm Host accompanied push. No, it looks like it's just going to be the Roaches, in fact. But the Stalkers are in position to deal with the Roaches, but there's no Observer. There's no cannons here.
At all. There's no way to detect.
Oh, he knows that the Roaches are there because he couldn't build a cannon. That's awesome.
Oh, but all these Roaches, hendralisk,
top right,
taken out. Oh, Colossus does go down though.
1 Colossus though for all those Roaches when we're in such a low economy game. I don't like that trade for hendralisk at all. Resources are a precious commodity here, and puCK didn't just lose that much.
Yeah. Well, will this army be able to take out these Roaches of hendralisk? The upgrades are still very, very. Yes. God, the upgrades though, man. puCK hasn't continued his other upgrades. He's only on +1. hendralisk is approaching 2-2. Well, 3-1 rather. And perhaps maybe going into Spire Tech. Do you think we see a big muted switch, or do we just see the kind of Swarm Host?
No, this is going to be Mutalisk Tempo. Look how far apart these bases are right now. The bases on the right, all the way over here to the left, how vulnerable it's going to be to Mutalisk play with how spread out and how immobile puCK's force is. puCK needs to push. puCK needs to push now, or he needs to get lucky and scout that Spire going down so he can throw down a Stargate.
Because he doesn't have any way to deal with mutas right now. You know, he has Blink Stalkers, and we saw that in King Sejong. It did work out for him. But these aren't +3 Blink Stalkers this time. So it is going to become pretty dicey. If hendralisk is able to mine gas from 4 base, well, I guess right now, yeah, he's still mining gas in his main, so... Whew. Very, very scary situation, though, for a Zerg player. Even though you do get those mutas out there, have the economy, Protoss player, you know, sometimes you think on merry-go-round that, yeah, but Protoss can never get to +3 bases, but once they start to get to those, you know, 3rd and plus bases, it becomes a lot easier for them to hold on to the rest of them. But, oh! Looking out there in the middle.
1 Archon survives with 12 shield, but I'm a little afraid right now. This is 4 Vipers, a big Roach Locust army. puCK's going to need a great engagement here. He cannot. These Templar are everything. Everything to puCK because they have to zone out those Vipers.
He needs to get those. He can't be losing Colossi here. He has a great Colossus count in order to deal with the Swarm Host eventually, but if he starts losing them, especially to these Locusts, and here it comes, Kibbles. Oh, one's going to go down, but a big abduct. Right into the Roaches.
All the abducts, but none of the Colossi that are pulled actually go down. They're all going to survive. One on the right does get killed off by the Roaches. Are the gateway units pulling too fast? puCK blinking into the Swarm Host. He's going to target fire down as many as he can, but now a whole new wave of Locusts spawns. puCK forced to retreat with that spawn, and I don't know what he's going to do from here, Tempo.
This is the position you do not want to be in. He did lose a few Colossi. He didn't end up losing a huge amount. If he lost all of them, I would say there's no way. But this is pretty scary. You know, he still is able to secure his bases. This is a little. I don't know what is hendralisk gonna actually do. He's a little broke at the moment, but he's trying to use some corruptors here. And the good part about the corruptors is that they're gonna be able to attack the observer. You know, getting those. Even if they're going to be killing the Colossus, it's more so that he's able to use his Overseer to snipe the Observer, and then puCK is never able to actually kill the Swarm Host.
No, it's so true, Tempo. If you can catch the Protoss army on the move, the Observer is often going to be a unit that lags behind, and if you come in with a surgical strike, you can take down those Observers. They're lagging behind the rest of the force, but right now, puCK's going to get a critical kill on this right-hand base. Simultaneously, 2 Dark Templar going over to this base on the left-hand side. Is he going to manage to snipe the hatchery? No, instead he's opting to get the drones. Now he's going to target fire on the hatch. Corruptors and Vipers will be able to save this. They'll have
big recall to the top left base. Huge recall, as puCK did kind of read the fact that hendralisk was going to go ahead and try to snipe it, but hendralisk Roaches do get away, and they are actually splitting all over the map, going over to that other location. But they're going to get cleaned up by DTs here. hendralisk is losing quite a bit of units, and he lost that base. That was his main mining base. So he needs to be very careful with how he actually utilizes his units here from here on out.
Yep. I mean, this is an incredibly low economy game from hendralisk's perspective. But fortunately, he is a very an army that's exceptional at being cost efficient. He's got Viper, Corruptor, Swarm Host. This is as good as it gets, guys, until you get to just Air Viper. There's not too much further to go up the tech path. So if hendralisk plays it super slow, he can reestablish these bases, but because of how mineral-starved he's been, he's just now restarting this hatchery on the right.
Yeah, he wasn't even able to afford another base, so he's mining ever so slowly, and he can't cut off the economy of puCK. He's tried so many times, but he loses a few units here. And puCK, I really am nervous for his real late game potential, because yeah, he's doing all of this, but we still haven't seen him start anymore. Did he lose his forge? Is that why? Because he's still been on +1 this whole time. He might have actually lost his forge.
I question the upgrade on ground weapons here.
Oh no, here it is.
With how high tech hendralisk's army is, I feel like Tempo that puCK can begin making a move towards Tempests. He may not be there yet, but going for ground upgrades, I feel, is something that, it will make a difference on this one army, and it'll pay off in dividends in this army. But right now, we've got these Roaches. They're going to be sacrificed to the Protoss gods. What are they going to manage
once
to
again.
with them?
And hendralisk, though, trying to get stuff done with these Roaches, and he's not even at the point where he's maxed out and can be like, okay, I have a big bank and I want to just get rid of these Roaches. He's just kind of trying to get something done here, and this is just a sacrifice. And I don't know about all that. You know, it wasn't even a base that had any probes at it. It was mainly the tech.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he tried to do it to get puCK out of position to do something else. So that's a little bit of a questionable move.
Oh, it's through and through. I mean, at the end of the day, it's blunder. It's hard for hendralisk to know that before he goes in for it. But in that case, yeah, he's not maxed out. He doesn't need room for supply because he has hordes of money and his evil geniuses right now trying to find a way to spend this bank on something better. Like, no, he's pinching pennies, and he just threw away, a boatload of Roaches. So I totally agree with you, Tempo. And hendralisk, it's not like he's gonna start making the bank either right now. Like,
at all, yeah. I think he's just feeling a little bit nervous that puCK is expanding all over the map. You know, hendralisk can't really move out with the Swarm Host. He doesn't have that amount in the creep spread where he feels confident moving on out and trying to put pressure on puCK. So he tried to do that with the roaches and didn't really work out. And it's a little bit. What does hendralisk do from here, right? Like, you know, you're right.
It's too much time. He did have opportunities, I think, to go make things happen, but he was super passive with his Swarm Host. He didn't have a good idea of the base count of puCK, and then he just kind of let this game get away from him. puCK now, it's 52 to 53 workers, but puCK's on 1, 2, 3 mining bases. I know it's not Brood War, guys. I know that 3 mining bases to 2 isn't that big of a deal. But when you're a Zerg player who's down a full mining base, and it's not the other way around, it kind of is a big deal. 2 Stargates going down for puCK right now, and that is going to be quite evidence of just how rich this guy is when he starts.
I mean, a second Dark Stride coming too. He must feel like he is pretty rich, but you know, just because, why not? In case it does ever get sniped. I don't know. But puCK is going to go ahead and try to do some attacking here, using Zealots on that right base. Blink Stalkers on the left side, but there are Locusts on both sides. Kind of splitting. Roaches and Spine Crawlers mainly on the right, but Stalkers are mobile enough that they don't actually have to worry about sacrificing themselves when they do that, unlike those Roaches. So I think the hendralisk is going to play the Swarm Host game. He's going to play it out, making even more Swarm Host, and this is where what you were talking about maybe coming into play, because puCK now has that kind of free reign to start to really make his army exactly how he wants it to be, adding 2 Void Rays in at a time. We may even see those Tempests come in eventually, but maybe he's a little bit nervous about those the Corruptor count.
Yeah, I don't disagree with the call from puCK at all. Like, the play here is if you cut for Tempest, you have a huge economic lead over your opponent. You don't need to take tech risks. You can take all the baby steps to make your way up to Tempest in the end, because that's ultimately like the best tech you can have. But I mean, against this composition that is from hendralisk, I totally agree. There's so many Corruptors right now. Make some Void Rays. You know, there are 5 Infestors, which is scary, but there aren't that many Queens that are with this army. I'm not too afraid of Voids.
Yeah, and the creep spread is not that great either, so that's a huge, huge deal. The fact that there isn't that much creep, it just makes hendralisk feel like he's in his own little bubble right now, and puCK pretty much has the whole map as his... Oh my god, I'll say playground because the name of the map would kind of... So, we know what I mean.
Alright, here's what it is. Right now we're on merry-go-round, and hendralisk is riding like the little pony.
Yeah.
You know, like the little pony that's like in the carriage and it's just like, it can't even like prance on its own. And then puCK is like riding the reeling,
the actual
fucking mountain
building that the ponies are in, like that spins in circles. At this moment, though, but hendralisk, you know, you gotta say, the fact that he's able to secure this other base, he's just really low in drones. He's at 33 drones, and he's not mining gas anywhere, so he just is hanging on. Like, he's literally playing the super passive Swarm Host style, where you just kind of hang on, and usually you would hope to not let your opponent expand all over the map, but this is how people would usually deal with Swarm Host when Frost was in the map pool. Like, taking the whole map and being allowed to as a Protoss is kind of the way that you deal with it, you know, and you play that War of Attrition, and you wait for that real sick opportunity to jump onto the Swarm Host while you still have that army, you know, the Tempest army with Colossi in it too, and some Void Rays to deal with the Corruptors, and, you know, I can't remember, the High Templar to deal with those Infestors. So he's given puCK a little too much time to get this army that is like the dream scenario, whereas hendralisk is kind of just sticking on the Swarm Host, not really getting that many upgrades, not like the richest. He's not building the biggest bank. Usually when you're passive as Swarm Host player, you're building up a huge bank, and that's not what he's doing.
And that really is one of the critical problems right now with this situation that hendralisk is in. You know, his army is impressive. It's a little smaller in supply, but he's going to catch these Stalkers over
really
the right-hand side. That's going to even up the supply mostly. But at the end of the day, you're completely right. Like, as a Zerg player on Swarm Host, Corruptor, Viper, and Overseer, basically, I mean...
yeah, I can't forget about the Overseers, right?
But that he has all of these units, and that he has the Infestors to deal with the Void Rays. He's got to be stacking bills right now, and he's just not. hendralisk is still very starved on minerals with not a great way to obtain them.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all there is to say about that. And the fact that puCK is pretty much taking the whole map. That point we were talking about, right? Like, oh, we should, see puCK starting to add Tempest and the dream composition. You want to be using your Swarm Host and your Vipers to continuously pull and put the pressure on the ground army of your Protoss opponent so that they never are able to actually amass this army in the first place. So hendralisk wasn't in the position to do that. And puCK acknowledged it, didn't play the game where he just goes and attacks into it and loses all of his stuff. He decides to say, you know what, I'm just going to expand and let you come at me, and if you attack, I'll circumvent the Swarm Host because the creep spread isn't that great, and because it's just not that mobile. So I really like this too, the Mothership coming, but I don't know how many times I've seen a Mothership get made, and it's like, alright, sick cloak units, and then the Viper is just like, it's like, get over here, but...
And then you neural parasite it.
So yeah, like all the,
And you're really happy.
Beautiful, beautiful unit there. No vortex.
That would
actually.
Hey. No vortex. Yeah, man. What do you think this is? Metal Outpost
Imagine.
2012.
Oh my God, vortex would be like. Oh,
Viper,
Locust and Swarm
neural
Host,
parasite,
big deal.
Vortex.
Yeah.
And then you neural parasite 2 of their Archons. And then you reverse Archon toilet them with their own army.
Oh my God. Yeah. Those Wings of Liberty. I mean, I'm glad that
never happened in a pro game, but it would have if Vipers existed. It would have if Vipers existed. Absolutely would have. That would have happened in like the first season of GSL. No, because people didn't know about Archon Toilet at that time, but it would have happened so fast. puCK is going for his attack, guys. He's got tons of money.
Ooh, he's gonna snipe the Hive as well. Being everywhere at once. This is like puCK and PvP Wings of Liberty with the immortal drops. I don't know how the heck they got there, but they're gonna go ahead and try to do damage because the Vipers can pull them all they want, but there's really nothing that can deal with. Okay.
And that's a lot of Viper energy. Right before your biggest attack?
Yeah.
You gotta deal with the largest thing your opponent's gonna bring at you all game long? You just blew half your Viper energy on immortal pools?
Yeah, Those immortals are not, I mean, losing your Hive is not the biggest deal at this point of the game. And now hendralisk, oh my God, that may have actually been one of the greatest moves. Yeah.
He had no.
Semifinals, and these two players have been going at it. The score so far is 1-2. This player though is down. Yeah, he's down by 1 game at the moment, and he is the blue, lighter than his opponent, but representing Complexity Sound Blaster. It is our Canadian representative, hendralisk.
Sound Blaster, Cyber Power PC, and Newegg.
I think Newegg too, right? Yep.
Yep. All sponsors of Team Complexity and hendralisk himself. And in the bottom left, darker in color than his opponent. In the... this is not quite navy. I'll give it cyan. It is.
puCK!
So that's likely due to my black graphics on the bottom. We've got hatchery right now.
/ASL.
Yeah.
Pretty standard.
It's actually puCK taking it very seriously to pulling off of all of his probes. Not all of his probes, but, enough to deal enough DPS so that it doesn't finish.
Oh God, he's gonna go back. He's gonna go back. Yeah.
Oh, that is so annoying. But he cancels it immediately. A little bit more greedy there. And I don't think he's going to be able to get it this time.
That second one was a bit of a waste.
Yes.
Just notice he's not stopping anything right now. That was 75 minerals that were just, I don't know if you want to say that drone ate them and then pooped them out. Like,
yeah, like what did he do?
Stuck in a cave.
I feel like he got it a little bit higher than he wanted it to. And they wanted to kind of just put it down one more hex, and then it kind of cost him.
Yep.
So, but hendralisk gonna go ahead and grab 3 hatcheries behind it. Well, 2 hatcheries in addition to the one that he already has.
And the second stalker on the way for puCK.
Yeah.
See what he's going to opt to do with it. He's
aggressively.
Huh?
Gonna play it aggressively here.
Yeah. 2 chrono boosts on this gateway. Warp gate's going to go down now. He's still running off of just 1 gas. Will we see 3 gateways, or will we see no more stalkers and a fast Stargate without a mothership core? I think those are the 2 things that I'm looking for here. 2 more gateways is also possible, of course.
This has to be very annoying here for hendralisk, though, as this is the point of the game where you just want to drone up, because you do get the 3rd hatchery in order to... You sacrifice those drones in order to get a quicker production cycle, but without being able to actually make drones, it kind of gets wasted because you're dealing with a zealot, and you might even lose drones if you're not careful enough, so he's going to try to minimize any losses that he... I think he will, though.
Oh, this zealot is super sad right now.
Gonna get at least the ling, though. And yeah, there we go.
I mean,
Speed on the way,
no zealot ever went home, Tempo, and was like, guys, I killed a Zergling.
Yeah, right, and was proud of it.
They're all like, we've all killed Zerglings. What do you think we were shields for?
Yeah. Like in training, right? That's like what you do in zealot training. And he comes out like, yo guys, I'm Zergling. It's like, good luck. Nice job, buddy. Here's a gold star. Except it's not even really made out of gold. And it's not even a 5-pointed star. It's only 4.
They just make it out of whatever other shiny material is obviously everywhere on this map.
Yeah.
That looks like it's gold, but... Oh, what if the whole planet is made of gold? If it is...
Hey, that'd be nice. They do have gold minerals on the map, so who knows?
I wonder if they'd use something really cheap, like aluminum, to put crowns on king's heads.
Yeah. Just like spray paint it.
Sir, here is your brand new crown made of pure aluminum. Here we think like everybody's crazy and you believe satellites are topping into your brain, but actually it's just because you're a king from another universe where their planets are made of gold.
Thing is actually picking up signals because it's made out of aluminum.
Yeah. Like, why do you think those people know so much? It's because they're communicating with the extraterrestrials that they're initially a part of before they took over your human body.
Bam. Kibbles knows what's up.
Hey man, I've watched Men in Black, okay?
See, right? Pretty much all of humanity. Pretty much the biography right there, man.
Zealots. And these are not going to be the kind... Huh?
Yeah, the proxy pylon kind
of... It hasn't been seen. This is potentially game-ending. This is going to be
scary.
So much stuff.
Because the Roach Warren isn't done either.
Yep. Like,
14 lanes.
And then you've got 35 seconds, I think it is, to make the Roaches. Like, this is, like I said, this is potentially game-ending. If not, the Immortal follow-up, I think will be.
Wow, really nice moves here from puCK. This is not the only proxy pylon that is here, but hendralisk is going to lose all of his links to try to kill it, and he actually doesn't kill it. Drone's getting pulled off the line, and that mothership core was dangerously low. But here come the Roaches. Very smart of hendralisk to make them at the 3rd, exactly where he needs them. But a lot of damage being done here.
There is. The units aren't together right now for puCK. Is he going to be able to be this sloppy? No, he's not. Half his zealots get caught out in the middle of nowhere. Then, like, 5 get surrounded while there's 2 more finishing off the spine crawler. And now this group kind of streams in last minute. That's the way that hendralisk survives this attack. And not only survives it, but handedly cleans it up. I really think puCK would have benefited from maybe trying to circle around and snipe off this hatchery and then get out of dodge, or engage with his whole force at once, but unfortunately, that attack didn't go his way.
The Zealots are actually, this unit in ZVP, especially in the early game, that just, the amount of strength they have in numbers is ridiculous. Like, obviously, yes, you have more of anything, and then, you know, of course, they're stronger, but in this matchup at that stage of the game, just having them all together, not allowing the Zerglings to get surface area is so important, but hendralisk did end up dodging the bullet there.
He did. Well, and he played it great. There were 4 Zealots that had just warped in, and they were walking to join the main force, and hendralisk is like, no, I'm going to surround you entirely. And that's a testament to the creep spread from hendralisk. It let him see those Zealots coming, it let him snipe them, and it was all around a great play. But now, he does have to hold off round 2. To be honest, though, I don't think it's going to be that hard.
Yeah, I mean, there's no proxy pylon at all. Hydras are already here, and like you're saying, that creep spread is so important. Having your creep all the way out there when this push hits is, like, unbelievable, you know? You can set up your position here if you really want to, you don't feel like you're constricted to your third. So he's going to try to buy as much time as he can. He's just kind of chilling out, not going to go in early at all. He doesn't want to lose his first wave of units. He has defender's advantage at the moment. Those proxy pylons do say a little bit otherwise, but this is it. Moment of truth. Will hendralisk be able to get a good position here?
Why? Okay, so puCK's pulling back right now. Let's see what he gains from it. He got a sentry so far. Like, here's the thing. He could have attacked right there, and that spine crawler was still rooting. So, since then, hendralisk has been pumping out more and more units. Now we have a sentry and two zealots. I think there were four zealots and a sentry.
The fact that the Hydras are starting to get in higher numbers.
Yeah. So 4 zealots and a sentry, since puCK could have pushed, hendralisk has almost doubled his Hydra count, and his spine is now rooted. More Hydras spawning. No. puCK is waiting far too long.
He's not going to commit to it, I don't think.
Yeah, it's
dropping a Twilight. Ooh, really nice force fields here, so that's a nice move. He's getting more probes at the moment and his Twilight as well. He wants to make hendralisk make a mistake here. But is it too much now?
Notice when those lings got caught, hendralisk just goes all out with an attack, but no, the concave is too large. puCK is forced to mass recall home, and from there, I don't think he has many options, Tempo.
Not with this pressure that is about to be knocking down his front door. So he's going to have to deal with this push right now. Catch it in a nice position.
Yeah.
And segment them. These force fields are going to have to be immaculate because Roaches and Hydras, especially with, do you have any good upgrades? They do have +1.
You know, one of the things we do hear a lot of is players talking about how StarCraft has a defensive nature to it, and we're going to be able to see that here from puCK. He may, because of that sentry, the amount of sentry energy here, instead of fighting, hendralisk opts to retreat home. It's the smarter decision for him right now. It's better for him to, get up to lair, expand, because there's no way his opponent can move out. And you can go for a denial attempt on this third, but don't expect hendralisk to try to force a fight unless he sees an opening.
Yeah, maybe he's just going to be content with denying the third. But yeah, with puCK being stuck on 2 bases, if he doesn't get that third base up, then it's going to be up to him in order to make the play. So, hendralisk though, this is actually really nice here from puCK. Buying the time here with the War Prism inside of the main. He might even get this, so if he is able to snipe the Hive, oh my god, this could be pretty big, but I don't think it's actually going to be enough.
It's so close though. Oh, he's got it. He's got it. Hive goes down, a massive play for puCK. I don't know that it's going to be enough, but it is a beginning.
Yes, you need that to happen, because now he's pretty much reset. If he's going to try to get those Vipers out, it's going to hit at a time where puCK is not as vulnerable. So if the Vipers came at the regular time, puCK only has 2 to 3 Colossi out. So really, really nice move, and hendralisk, feeling the pressure, he does not want to let puCK get to that comfortable position at all.
No, he doesn't, but this Nexus is very exposed right now. No gateways in position. It looks like hendralisk is maybe going to try for a double, like a frontal assault here from both sides, on the right and the center. puCK's going to want to move forward so he can nail the force fields on these ramps as the units try to come up. Looks like we've got hendralisk now splitting some units to go to the bottom.
This is such a heavy Hydralisk force that if Psionic Storm does finish, he is going to be able to get a lot of damage on, but it's not done just yet. puCK has to fall back. Yeah.
Oh, and he doesn't want to lose this third. A couple of force fields maybe to go down on the ramp, but puCK's not moving to defend it. He's going to let the third go.
And that is huge. Not only does he lose a third, his economy...
No, the probes!
They're all going to go down. Oh, Nick, the second, there was only such a small amount of time before that Psi Storm was done, and he moved into position as if it was, and it just wasn't. So, losing that third, pretty big, because look at the bank of hendralisk. And now, puCK, I mean, what do you do, man? What do you do?
Expand, absolutely, with the amount of money that he currently has and what his income is.
Sick warping,
absolutely takes another base.
This is the kind of thing that you do have to do, right?
But the Hive is already on its way, so Vipers will still be able to be created, and that's all that hendralisk really needs to begin dealing with this force. There's not a lot of Colossi here. He could absolutely... It does slow down Swarm Hosts, so that's a nice advantage, but Vipers will be made in just a moment.
Yeah, but the big thing is that puCK would be on 3 bases right now, and it'd be comfortable taking an engagement. Because if he doesn't end up actually winning this convincingly, he's lost quite a bit of workers, you know? He's at 47 probes, and he lost his third. So that income, the gas income, he just is pretty much... Look at this, as he's spending pretty much every penny that he has, an ounce of gas. Not because he has like amazing macro, it's just because that's really all he can afford. He's mining out in his main, his natural starting to mine out, and hendralisk is starting to get that bank up, and he's scary. Creep spread is a little bit better than last game, and he's mining off of 4 to 5 bases. Aye. Very difficult position to be in, of course, but puCK, he's keeping it cool, and he's...
Yeah. You know, the thing we really need to notice is that hendralisk doesn't have Swarm House.
Yes.
There's no perpetual pressure. There's just a lot of Hydras. A whole lot of Hydras.
Sure.
Too many Hydras. This is 46 Hydralisks.
That's a little too many, I think. Especially with this many storms.
Too many.
Yeah.
That is far too many Hydralisks.
Yeah.
It was nice in the past, but now that there are 4 Templar with full Psionic Storm energy, and 4 Colossi, and 2 Archons, and a Mothership Core with 200 energy, puCK is going to push out onto the map. The Hydras are here to the left. Maybe he's going to try to go for a flank on the right-hand side, but I definitely fear what could happen to this army as one of the valuable Vipers of hendralisk accidentally sacrifices itself into puCK's army.
Oh, and another potential snipe on the third. Not quite, though. Colossus does get killed during that recall. So really, really nice move by hendralisk. Utilizing those Hydras, man, because like you're saying, they definitely are starting to lose a bit of their value if they're not able to actually stay alive.
Pushes. This is where puCK has to push. Look at the bank of hendralisk. 4,000 minerals. 1,500 gas. He spent a lot. Why? Because he just started another set of upgrades, another set of Hydras, another set of Roaches. He's buying time. When this double Spire completes and these double upgrades kick up and hendralisk begins to interpret this bank into potential Mutalisk transition, puCK's going to have no answer. He's got to make things happen now while the composition of hendralisk is far inferior to his own. Yeah.
The double Spire is really nice. He's going to go ahead and get those upgrades, but I know that when you go for this Roach Hydra Viper, you want to be trading constantly here. The only reason he hasn't felt pressure to trade constantly is because of him keeping a puCK off of a third for so long. So, I don't know. Is he going to actually go for the trade right now? Or does... Ooh, he's not ready just yet to transition into that Muta, I don't think.
And he doesn't want to quite attack either, because he's got 40 seconds till +3, and he can throw away some of these bases. He's going to kill this one. I love this pylon from puCK. Look at this pylon that's going to scalp this counterattack coming. puCK's going to kill this base, mass recall to his third. This time we're not going to see a bunch of Colossi be sniped while the mass recall comes into play.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and just defend this, and, well, I don't know. Here comes a fight. Does hendralisk want to take this? Where are the storms at? Where are the storms? It looks like the Templar were lagging behind.
He doesn't get overeager. Nice storms so far, but the Colossi all pulled forward. They're going to retreat. More storms need to go down for puCK as these units are going to converge into this gap. Force fields are a little too early if he wanted to catch those units. Instead, he zones them, and hendralisk is certainly going home bruised.
Well, he's going for it. The Muta transition already. He's not going to go for it. I'm wondering, this is mainly to keep puCK either on the map or force him to attack, I would assume.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean... I
don't know that puCK can attack, but I agree. He's kind of going to be forced to. He's going to have some Templars. He's actually going to have a lot of Templar. 8 Templar, 3 Colossi, a couple Sentries, an Archon, Immortals, Stalker, Zealot, right? Basic ground comp, but 8 Templar, 3 Colossi. 24 Mutalisks are crossing the left-hand side of the map right now. puCK is going to have no answer for them at all.
No.
All
and hendralisk is so smart here. Yeah, he's gonna try to force puCK into attacking right now, and this is why you see so many of these spine crawlers kind of at these bases. But
puCK can't hold this. He's gonna send his stalkers back, but with the reinforcing Mutalisk, yeah, now he sees actually I can't do this. He was coming back because he could have dealt with that many Mutas, but now I think there's just too many.
Yeah, he's gonna try, but he does have the superior upgrades, but he's losing a lot of stuff right now. And hendralisk is just continuing to mine off of all of his bases. So really nice blink here from puCK. +2 upgrades are very nice, but once again, oh wow, really nice trapping here though.
It is.
And
Stalkers getting a really nice fight with the photon overcharge
from
helping.
hendralisk.
Ooh la la! puCK holds that one as well as he could ask for. We'll see if it keeps up. Mothership Core gets pulled.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that was a little bit of a premature transition from hendralisk. He didn't get to really trade as much as he wanted to. You want to constantly trade, but puCK, whereas he's gonna just try to deal with this with his blink stalkers and storms and archons. I don't see any stargates being made at the moment.
Yeah, I think puCK intends to go for a big death push. He senses how far behind he is, and he says, I'm just going to make more Archons. I'm going to keep my high Templar count. I'm going to deal with your Mutalisks for now because I already whittled half of them down, basically. So if he can just thwart the attack for a little while, a big attack is going to be super valuable, but a lot of Hydralisks coming in for a counterattack right now. puCK's position is a little bit awry, but he's going to try to come in from both sides now and see if he can pitch this Hydra army.
Wow, is he going to try to do it? Nice storms there. And hendralisk is using his Hydras in the best way that he possibly can. Remember we were talking about how they're just too squishy at this point in the game, but he's trying. Gotta be careful there, buddy.
Nice catch. 7 or 8 of those Hydras are going to go down to no gain whatsoever. And this might be a prompt for puCK to push. We'll see. Does he want to play for this super late game? That might be the case when we think back to that map on merry-go-round. But the tables are far turned from what they were on that game.
Yeah. hendralisk, though, he's continuing to make mutas. Oh my god, those Templar are crazy. I don't know what they're thinking, but big loss there for puCK because he wanted to keep those as a Templar with a lot of energy on them. And now, if he's able to stabilize on these 4 bases, maybe he'll be able to start to push the issue.
That actually changes a ton, Tempo. Like, he had 8 Templar, and now he has 1.
Yep. Very, very big difference when engaging this Hydra-heavy army as well. But he's going for it, or is he trying to bait it? What is he doing here? puCK gonna go for a big storm. But the mutas, where are they? They're definitely going to be going for some kind of different attack of their own, splitting puCK around the map because this army of his is just not mobile enough.
puCK has an opportunity here to catch these Hydras, and if he does, not a lot of money in the bank right now for hendralisk. The Hydras are certainly going to go down. What kind of damage are they going to do in the meantime? And these mutas will go uncontested in the bottom right. The 3rd for puCK will be killed, and I think this is all going to come down to a counterattack from puCK. Will it manage to secure him the game?
He's going to try. He's fighting the mutas with the stalkers right now. He does have +2. These mutas have 1-1. The upgrades have not been continued here for hendralisk. He can't contest these stalkers just yet. So he needs to be so careful with them. But these Hydras getting as much as they can get done. puCK splitting his army quite well. But, I mean, is this the path that hendralisk does want to go for? It looks like it. Heavy muta play.
I think this is absolutely where puCK pushes. puCK has to push. 29 workers to 46. 6 bases to 2.
Yeah.
Only 1 that's mining. puCK has no opportunity but to push for the all-in attack against his opponent right now. He's certainly at an inferior army supply.
Yeah.
But he has a very strong composition.
And he can't be... I mean, he probably can't be too sad because it's not even like it's Swarm Host at this point in time. These are mutas. They're not going to be the best in the actual fight. So if hendralisk decides to go for a base race, then the ground army of hendralisk is just not that great. I mean, here we go, though. Big pulls there. The Spinecrawler wall is starting to fall. hendralisk is staying maxed out, but the mutas can maybe finally pull this army. And I think they're going to go for it. Archons are still alive, though. Getting good splash damage, but there's just so much Zerg here for our Canadian Zerg player. Will this be the end of puCK in this game here?
Oh, wow. I mean, that was a closer fight than I was expecting, but in the end, hendralisk does still manage to eke through. Secure.
This is the ASL semifinals. The winner of this series will be going on to the grand finals to play against the winner of Thursday's series between Fenner and Masa. But right now, we're going to be focusing on this game, this series, a PVZ here on Deadwing, on the bottom right corner, spawning, representing IVD Gaming. It is our Red Protoss player.
And his opponent in the top right-hand corner, vying for world domination as if it was Risk. It's
Hendralisk.
Yeah.
And right now, man, I feel like after that last game, he might be kicking up his feet a little. He's like,
patreon.com/ASL.
Right? Yeah.
He had a really big economic lead from pretty early on in the game when he managed to get that surround on puCK's early attack.
Yeah. And then he was able to kind of seal the deal, right? He didn't let puCK get into the late game and beat him the way, like you said, on merry-go-round, which is very important because imagine if that happens twice in a row and it's like, every time I go to the late game, I somehow give up my early advantage. But no, hendralisk is going to hold on to that, and he went ahead and won, played it super safe, and did exactly what puCK did by expanding pretty much on the whole map and keeping his opponent to as little bases as possible. So,
and he used his hydralisks perfectly.
Yeah,
we were
I thought they
talking
were
about
gonna be
how
useless.
they would have been, but you know, he went for that counterattack, and not only did he catch puCK completely off guard, I strongly feel that counterattack may have won hendralisk the game because the composition was just too weak versus Storm and Colossi, but he went for a counter with the Hydras, and he killed 2 Colossi while buying himself time for free, basically.
Yep.
It was exactly the kind of play he needed. When Hydras engage versus a full army and like you lose 60 Hydras, you still don't kill 2 Colossi. And he killed 2 and lost nothing for it.
Nothing. Yeah, man. But this man, the Zerg player, going for triple hatch before pool, and now we're seeing a bit of a deviation in puCK's build. For the first time this series, going to drop that Stargate off of the Gateway expand. So switching it up, not letting hendralisk get comfortable in the series, and I'm really liking it as well that he decides to go for that. And we'll see, puCK is no slouch when it comes to his air control, especially with Oracles or Phoenixes, whichever he decides to choose. And we'll see. We'll see exactly how he decides to approach this game. Deadwing, a map where he can secure a relatively safe third and get into that late game where he feels so comfortable in PvZ.
Ling's going to try to slip its way over to the natural expansion here. Get a peek, see what's going on. Third gas on the low ground on this natural expansion. And it's time for that Oracle to arrive. So we're going to have to see what kind of damage it can manage to do. It is going to be able to avoid this first Overlord because of the Stalker.
Yeah, that was actually very smart.
Yeah.
We're fortunate that...
and the Zergling doesn't see it. And the Zelnaga Tower...
Oh, man.
Shouldn't. And good evasion by puCK. Oh, man, this Oracle completely unscouted right now.
Yeah, and you know what? There's not been a Spore Crawler dropped for hendralisk, and he's probably not thinking. Oracle is the last thing on his mind right now. We haven't seen any Stargate play just yet, but nice evacuation already. But is it going to be enough?
Well, he loses 2 drones. He loses 3. No! Oracle misses the 3rd drone, instead striking a 4th, and it's going to have to get out of dodge, get away from those queenies that were poking away at it. And it'll just go retire for another day, as actually puCK's going to kick up a Robo and some Void Rays.
Ooh, okay, really nice here from puCK. Playing a little defensive, too, getting the Void Ray. But hendralisk opened up with 5 queens. So he was safe from that, unless his queens were completely out of position. And the immediate evacuation and reaction time from hendralisk was very nice. So now puCK goes ahead and looks like a more standard ZVP that you would see. Stargate opener into the Robo very fast, getting the Observer to scout, maybe clear up some creep in the kind of earlier stages of the game, getting the forts for the upgrades, and then getting his third at the same time. So we're going to see some kind of funny builds here, Kibbles, as I don't know if this is intentional, but double Roach Warren as well as Ventral Sacks are coming out of hendralisk. What are we...
Yeah, this is super interesting. So, I mean, the timing of these Roach Warrens tell us everything. You don't make a Roach Warren and then a Roach Warren immediately again. So, well, by accident. So this is completely going to be a Roach speed, burrowed Roach drop, from hendralisk, and puCK needs to see that this is going on. This isn't the type of thing you just get lucky and prepare for, but I will say that puCK has the exact unit composition that you want to have to defeat this.
All right, well, puCK does currently have the army supply lead. Not the eco, though. He does have the 3 bases, and the Oracle's trying to scout, but this is not something that you can actually scout. Maybe the double Roach Warren is the only thing that you can kind of use, but you cannot tell that the Ventral Sax, which is the Overlord drop, by the way, and, you know, Overlord speed or anything like that, is being researched.
Yeah, but
wait a minute. He is not getting Overlord speed.
Nice spot, by the way, from hendralisk seeing. Well, that's a mistake then from hendralisk, but he did manage to see the observer come in, and so that was nice. He managed to pick it off, but if seeing that observer cost him getting Overlord speed on time, definitely a mistake. He's making his way across the map. This is a timing attack. This is meant to hit at 11 minutes, not later. There's a reason you get 2 Roach Warrens. Very specific time you attack. And check it out, it's going to be delayed by 30, 40, maybe even 50 seconds because these Overlords do not have speed. They're on the wrong side of the map. And puCK scouted the double Roach Warren, so what has he not made? Sentries. What is he doing? A complete building wall off. He's ready for this
and a bunch of voids.
attack.
Did he drop a second Stargate there? I believe he did. Double producing Void Rays out here. And yeah, the Nidus is here too. I don't know. This is going to be kind of crazy. I mean,
this is going to be the biggest smackdown that we will see in this entire series. These Roaches are going to load up into the Overlords. The Void Rays are in position to deal with them.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there is a patrolling Oracle to the right. Goodbye, Overlord. Half of hendralisk's army immediately killed. A third.
And even if they drop an attack, these Void Rays are ready to deal with that unit that cannot shoot up. I mean, puCK is securing his 3rd through all this, and hendralisk has invested so much into that. You know, I don't know if he was making queens behind it. Yeah, he only has 3 queens, so it's not like he can go and bring some queens as well with it to deal with the voids. He's going to have to rethink his game plan as it is right now. Just not really going to cut it.
The star sense, the intuition from puCK, knowing that there is no reason for him to have his Void Rays over his Immortal Sentry Stalker. Send it off to the right. There's no reason not to. That is what saved puCK that game. That Roach drop would have happened all the way in the main. It would have been a mess to deal with. But no, he had his Void Rays in the perfect position. Look at this anticipation. Manages to deny the scout beautifully. I mean, puCK is all over this. And when this push comes across the map, hendralisk is going to have to do every miracle that we have seen in StarCraft 2 in order to hold this attack off. I'm super pumped to see what he tries to go for because he is a clever player who is quite capable of making big plays, as we saw on Overgrowth when he made a really sick play with that Hydra army.
Indeed. And that's the thing when you ask yourself, do you really believe in a thing called Roach? And this will test your faith because hendralisk is pretty much only on Roach tech. He's starting to go into Swarmhost and he's getting some Infestors actually, which is pretty interesting to deal with the Void Rays, especially with the Queens to mix it up. Queens and Infestors will deal with Void Rays way better than hydralisk ever will at the expense of not as much gas either, so let's see if he's able to do it. He's loading up a lot of units. Where are they going though is the question. I mean, I am very intrigued as to what hendralisk has in store for puCK.
The timing on this is super convenient, but there are units relatively in position right now for puCK. What I'd love to see from puCK is actually these Roaches that are over at this 5th base or 6th base make their way up, attack this 3rd base a little to draw the army out and forwards, then do this drop either in the natural or in the main base.
Yeah.
I think that kind of a pull your opponent out, then drop, that's the kind of play that can bring him back. But right now, he's going to find a way to deal with these Void Rays that are going
and they're loading up. They are charged up. Prismatic alignment in your house. That hive is in a little bit of trouble. hendralisk is going to try to get some Vipers out beforehand. He gets 1.
He has nothing to
One
shoot
Viper
up.
because he just doesn't have the supply in order to do so. But here comes his actual plan. puCK is going to have to possibly recall here. But I mean, he's set up pretty nicely.
He chose to recall, and he's going to recall to his 3rd. That'll put the Void Rays in a decent position to deal with this drop.
This is like
Nidus
quadruple
going
prong.
down. Yeah, this is everything. This is everything for hendralisk If puCK holds this without catastrophic damage, he wins.
Yep. I mean, look at the bank of hendralisk. It is nothing there. And here it goes. Nothing in the Nidus. It's going to draw some attention perhaps over there, but I don't know. He's not dropping with his roaches just yet. He's not doing anything, actually. He's just kind of making puCK feel like very uncomfortable.
Never have I seen a Nidus Worm erupt uncontested in the natural, undefended Protoss and do nothing.
Absolutely
at all.
nothing. Oh my god. I don't even know what to think here, but the Swarm hosts are actually going to be very nice. How many? Yeah, there's...
They're cute, but...
Infestors, Vipers, and expansions behind it. I mean, I don't know. This could actually do quite a bit.
Alright, here come the drops. These are the drops meant to deal with this attack coming from puCK. He's going to drop some in the main. puCK is currently maxed, so he can't warp in at home. His only option is to either turn around or go for it.
Yeah, and he is going for it. He does not want to go into a Swarmhost game on Deadwing at all. But the nice position here from hendralisk is going to allow his Spore Crawler to deal with the Observers if they're not careful, as well as the Void Rays. And if they get fungled on top of that, then that's just bad. But, oh my god, Kibbles, in the side of the main, and the natural of puCK, it's just a bunch of roaches right now.
Yeah, it's doing a lot of damage, man. Observer will be able to arrive here, but this is going to be a little bit of a mess for puCK to actually clean up. Meanwhile, no, these are actually locusts that are moving up on the side of the map, but I love that hendralisk is taking a 5th base behind all this. He's going to try to battle his way back into this game, but he is going to have a very, very strong attack to hold off, and no! He doesn't have an infestation pit tempo. He can't make infestors, and those will be absolutely critical to holding off 13 Void Rays. What is he going to do? He's only got
didn't realize that he
infestors.
lost it. Oh, he lost the infestation pit in that hive snipe, I believe.
Look at the gas count, but hendralisk can't make anything.
He can't make anything that's going to be useful at all. Maybe some queens, 4 at a time, but he can't dump his gas.
puCK needs to push. puCK absolutely needs to attack right now. There's almost nothing for hendralisk that can shoot up besides these Spore Crawlers, which he can just go around with 15 Void Rays.
Right? So, gonna be utilizing those Swarmhosts to buy him the time, make puCK a little bit more reluctant to come up that middle. But there are a few infestors, though, so it's not like he only has these Swarmhosts and Spores. He has the Queens there. If he can lock down that army, he would at least buy himself some time, you know, and hopefully will be able to actually kill the army.
Decent fungal
goes down.
Not
Is this enough?
Quite good enough. That's too many Void Rays. Tempo, the infestors have already used their fungal growths. A couple will come down the ramp right now, scoring halfway decent fungals, but only the shields have been penetrated so far on this Protoss army.
Did you see all of those feedbacks on all of the queens? Absolutely massacred. Oh, Lord. And hendralisk is going to tap out. puCK. Yeah. Let's do it.
I mean, you're kind of in Boston, so...
Yep.
You ever listen to the song Boston by... I don't know.
I've heard of the band Boston.
Think I'll go to Boston. Think I'll start a new life where no one knows my name.
Actually, haven't. Who's it by? Well, we don't know.
I'm going to find you this song while you introduce our first player.
All right. Our first player spawning in the left. He is the Purple Zerg representing Complexity Sound Blaster. It is going to be hendralisk. I'm thinking of the you know the Dropkick Murphy song? Shipping up to Boston.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, this one's actually
different.
It's a beautiful, beautiful song about a guy who's like living in paradise, but just doesn't want to be there anymore because his life's like he just wants to change it, and so he gets out and goes to Boston, man.
Word, because that's the opposite of paradise, of course.
By Augustana.
Well, our other player spawning in the bottom right, or bottom, it is our IVD representative. He is the blue Protoss player, 1 game away from winning this best of 7 series. puCK, superstar.
What?
Superstar.
What do you think he's gonna be doing this game, man?
Oh man, it's rough. puCK, yeah, I feel like you're saying his PVZ is very mid to late game oriented, like that. That I feel comfortable when I have this huge army that I can control and just destroy you. A lot of his older builds from Wings of Liberty, he used to be known as a very two-base, high-tech oriented all-inner kind of Protoss player.
Yeah.
So it's a little different to see, of course, how he's loving the late game so far in this series.
Like, puCK has just improved so much over the years.
Yeah.
Really, really cool seeing the transformation that this guy's undergone. All right, in the top left-hand corner, this guy has blown me away with his performance in this event and just recently. Henry is just like puCK, man. Henry came out of a scene that was just populated with a lot of well-known player names. puCK, In Control, puCK, this Hydra. This was an era when Henry was getting to the grindstone. He was putting in the time, while names like Machine were just larger than his. And he is stuck with not only StarCraft 2, he has stuck with his team across those years.
Yeah, he's been on Complexity for a long time.
Longer than anyone I know. And, just a testament to how steadfast this guy is. In the top left-hand corner, our purple Zerg player. Give it up for him. He's currently got to rally it back.
Oh, we introduced him. My bad. I didn't know you. I thought you were just talking like about him, like I was like rolling with it. I'm like, yeah, man, you're right.
Hendralisk. He is.
All right. Well,
but
this is interesting here at the top. Yeah, very interesting build. A little bit different than what we saw on Merry-Go-Round, because this is like an incredibly fast Dark Shrine.
Tempo.
And whoa, is that
tempo?
Oh no, the Overlord is not in position. He's like,
and this is how you know. And tempo. He's gone for fast 1/1 lings. Whoa. Is there a faster way to die against fast DTs? Well, yes, there is. If you also don't make spore crawlers before the 9:30 mark. Is that going to happen?
Oh no, but that's what he's doing right now here, Kibbles. Hendralisk hasn't started his lair. He's going for 1/1. He's good to deal with a very gateway-oriented kind of opening if he does get that out. But the DT, the Dark Shrine is already done. And wow, he knows. He knows. He feels something, the disturbance.
He may have seen those TTs warp in or heard them, but in either case, he did get into his opponent's base and see a general lack of everything.
Yep.
At 9 minutes, like, we're a minute away from when a Blink Stalker all in hits, and you're telling me you have Cybercore tech and no gateways.
Well, a very important thing to note is that the Spore Crawler is such a great building to use in dealing with a lot of Protoss harassment, whether it's going to be with Phoenixes, whether it's going to be with Oracles, or anything.
Oh my god, if puCK had like 2 more Dark Templar, no, he needs to move the DT over to the right-hand side. He could have killed both of these evolution chambers, set back the upgrades of Hendralisk, and put himself in a decent position, even though his DT, play here was completely repelled. But now, I'm fearing for him. These upgrades are going to complete. These lings are going to be mean. Yeah,
the Archons are going to be great, but I mean, Blink Stalker against Mass Ling, yeah, he doesn't have the Hydras or anything like that to deal with. But, I mean, Lings are pretty damn good, and especially when they have those upgrades. Blink Stalkers aren't going to be the best or most effective. Oh, Archons are really going to be what save puCK.
Now, something that I'd really like to see from puCK, if he's identified now that this is 1/1 Ling, which the upgrade's just finished, so maybe he hasn't, is at his natural expansion, a couple of gateways on this upper area above the ramp. You make it that you have more time to respond if Lings try to go for a run-by into your main to get that pylon warp. I'd also like to see a little bit easier of a choke. Right now, that Zealot has to be in a super specific location in order to actually block those Lings, and he's going to bring the Zealot downstairs. He's got to make sure that he's well protected against Ling run-bys here, because that's the kind of thing that could give Hendralisk this game on a silver platter.
For sure. The run-bys is really what it is, because, I mean, engaging that army with that Ling, with that amount of Lings, is not the best idea. You need to have something else with it, and you know what Hendralisk is doing here is going for that Ling Infestor style with very, very heavy melee upgrades. He's going to go for... Is he getting... What? Did he double Roach Warren again? And Oh, I am so confused. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to say what he's doing because I have no idea what hendralisk is doing at the moment. He's going for double roach warren somehow, and then he's going to grab a spire here. And okay, I knew he made an infestation pit, so he did. He's getting a swarm host, so...
So the double roach warren entirely could just be a play in case his base is scouted. And it's meant to... Where's the spire, actually? I think that's important. Yeah, so the spire's up here in this, like, awkward, unprotected location in the third. This is quite vulnerable to things like, you know, Zealot and DT harass and things like that. So the fact that these double roaches are in the natural expansion, it certainly is a little misleading. We'll see what hendralisk... It also gives him the opportunity to tech switch into it later, but I wouldn't expect that with a spire and swarm hosts and things of that nature on the board.
Yeah. So, well, this is going to be pretty cool. Maybe he's going to be going the swarm host, force puck to drop a few of those
Check this
robos.
Phoenix out. Check this Phoenix out. Ready? Oh,
He's going to go ahead and scout and see what... he's not really paying attention to it, but... I don't know if he saw the swarm host yet, but I think a cool thing that hendralisk might be doing is forcing out those... You know, he gets his melee upgrades, makes some swarm hosts so that puck feels like he has to drop double robo, and then he just blindsides with a bunch of mutas. But is it going to really work in the stage of the game when there's a lot of Archons, Blink is already done, and he has to actually get those mutas out as well.
Very true, Lings. Gotta manage to pull back just in time here in the top right. While puck is actually going to loop around the right-hand side for a very big attack. Zealot's in position for a run by into the natural. A cannon, 2 cannons, more gateways. Oh, I love this gateway and pylon over at the third base for puck. It's going to make it so much harder for these. Actually, it's a complete wall. The units can't get into the mineral line. They actually can, so they have to go ahead and kill that cannon. Tempo! We were talking about it, man. Infestation pit, vulnerable, goes down. Spire, exposed, dead. No upgrades. That's the hugest thing about this, because these stalkers are at +2. +3 is on the way as well, and there's a crucial time that puck is hitting at. Look at the third base right now. Puck completely defended against those Zerglings that desperately wanted to get into the mineral line, ravage away. No, they can't. It's a complete wall off. Now there's 3 Dark Templar here, and Overseers do arrive, so they're going to manage to hold that off for a second. But how does hendralisk deal with puck's attack? Exactly. I mean, the mutas are going to try to base race, but are they going to be able to actually get the damage done? These cannons are going up now. And the third is under siege, but look at the actual base, the base of hendralisk. He can't even make more defensive swarmos at home because he lost his infestation pit because it was at his third. So now we're going to see that the mutas are going to be useless against our army because there's just not enough, and Archons just do ridiculous amounts of damage. Oh my goodness, is this actually going to be just a straight up base race scenario? I mean, there's no base race to it now. Too many stalkers, too many photon cannons. These mutalisks have no reinforcements because the spire was killed. So there's nothing that hendralisk is going to be able to do here besides kill this third base. Now from there, he can't push. He's got to play on the defensive get home, make sure he doesn't lose anything else. He may be able to stabilize on this mining base, and he does have another hidden expansion down in the corner. Yeah, he's going to be able to get that. If he gets it uncontested, he'll mine the gas from it and continue to kind of draw the game out, as he does have these swarm hosts in a very defensive posture at that 4th location, I believe it was. I couldn't tell if it was a 3rd or the 4th, but hendralisk is sustaining a lot of damage right now, especially with these drones in the main. And, he's going to try to trap puck here, but puck can recall if need be. Yep. Oh, no! If your mothership core gets sniped at no real price. That's very a nice play, because now the swarm host can get in position and trap these units on the ramp. This is the kind of thing. Immediately, puck should be starting up another mothership core and just buy time, right? I mean, if he goes down that ramp, he's gonna maybe be. I mean, that's not that many swarm hosts. I wouldn't hate a warp prism right now either. A warp prism and take a third. He is sending a probe out, I believe, to go build that third base. But look at this. Oh, the Archons, scumbag Archons, are actually breaking the force field on the ramp, and lots of damage getting done here for hendralisk. Well, rather for puck to hendralisk. And the spine crawlers are putting in so much work. Oh, and this is crazy, Kibbles. There's really not that many. Oh, wow, the big reinforcement of stalkers. Never mind. These do have +3. Swarm hosts are getting not in position to actually deal with it because they keep on rallying to the ramp, and now the stalkers are here. Nothing to do from that position, man. Hendra is completely surrounded, down 3-2 right now. He wants to keep his tournament hopes alive here. He wants to move on to the next round for a chance at up to $700 more, but it may not happen. He's down to 70 supply, and puCK is in a dominant position.
A very dominant position. That mothership core was remade, so if he just holds on a bit here, he should be able to get on out of there without suffering too much damage. But on the other side, luckily there was no observer there for hendralisk. Well, for puCK, because hendralisk swarm hosts were pretty exposed. This is a weird situation that we have here. I feel like puCK has a great position, but I mean, he wasn't actually mining from a third that whole time. He's only just now getting it up. So, get that awkward situation where you can't necessarily push into the swarm host because you don't want to lose everything for free. If he's ever able to snipe this base,
yeah, but he can deny mining at this base forever, and DT in the top right. Will be spotted by the Spore Crawler just in time, but he's going to lose a bunch of drones for this. Actually, if the DT can step to the right, it can live, but nah, it'll just go down. But, yep, immediately. 3-4 Stalkers warp in, and what's hendralisk going to do about those?
Not much at all. This is a difficult position here. puCK, the aggressive blink, just going to go right for it. He's going to lose a lot, potentially, but no. The blink should be back up.
Yep. Colossus even escapes, and that is just adding more and more pain to this loss from hendralisk. He played a fantastic series, but at the end of the day, puCK is going to manage to take down hendralisk. 4-2 as the last mining base is taken down. GG.
Indeed, GG.
No GG,
puCK
actually, from hendralisk.
goes ahead. Hey, you know, maybe he's just showing.